There are many resources available on the internet claiming to have the best answer to a specific interview question, and they all expect that everyone should use the exact same answer. But the truth is, there isn't a one-size-fits-all answer to interview questions. They should be personal and unique. They should reflect your experience and expertise, because these are exactly the things that your interviewers are looking for. The best approach to interview preparation is to establish a versatile foundation that will allow you to answer any question. Expert job seekers don't spend time memorizing and practicing rehearsed answers for common questions. Instead, they follow just a few simple steps. This is your big chance to talk about yourself. You've put so much work and effort into getting to this stage. It's finally time to take pride in your successes and share how you can add value. The first step in the process is to research the company that you're going to interview at. You want to try and identify their style of interviewing. Now, if you're working with a recruiter, you should definitely ask them what type of questions you should expect in your interviews. They should be able to provide those answers. If not, there are plenty of resources available online that will allow you to look at previous candidates who've interviewed at that company and find out a little bit of info about what you might expect. The overwhelming majority of interviews will focus on asking behavioral interview questions. These behavioral questions usually begin with the words, "Tell me about a time when," and will ask you to give an example of a time when you used a specific skill set in your past experience. Other interview styles would include things like technical interview questions, analytical interview questions, or situational interview questions. Knowing which type of questions that you're likely to encounter will let you prepare best for that interview. Preparing for behavioral interview questions is the most complicated and the most likely to encounter. As I mentioned, what you want to do is establish a versatile foundation that will allow you to answer any question. And the best way to do this is to focus on reviewing your most impactful projects from your most recent work experience. The top 3 to 5 projects should allow you to answer any question. The best way to stand out from your competition is to have the details of this work fresh in your mind. You want to be able to produce exact details under the pressure of an interview, especially in regards to quantifiable data. You want to be able to answer the questions of how did you measure the challenge that you were trying to solve, and how did you measure your results in achieving that goal? Another thing to keep in mind when answering behavioral questions is to stay on target. The interviewer wants to hear about a specific time when you demonstrated a skill set. A great answer to a behavioral question is clear and direct without detour. The most common interview pitfall and the number one reason that candidates get rejected is because they fail to be concise or even answer the intended question at all. The last step in the process is to practice answering behavioral interview questions before the actual interview. You can practice with someone, you can practice in front of a mirror or in front of a camera. When you practice, be mindful of how you use your most impactful projects to answer a variety of behavioral questions. Try and get used to seeing how the various aspects of your top projects can be used to describe your expertise with many skills. Also be aware that you're likely to encounter a curveball question during these behavioral interviews. Your interviewer will probably ask you about a time when you failed to meet your goals or when you encountered adversity. So you may want to practice answering these types of questions. It is also possible during the interview that you encounter a question that applies really well to a project that you did outside of those top 5 projects. By all means, feel free to use that example in the interview, but be aware that your top 5 projects are the examples of work where you produced the greatest results. That's all for this video. If you need more help with your job search, you can find free articles and videos at nextstepjobsearch.com.